Daesung stood before the Council of Academic Excellence, his heart beating fast inside his chest. He was nervous but excited. Today he would prove that humans never existed. Today he would show that one of the galaxy's oldest stories was nothing but a fairy tale. Distinguished members, Daesung began, adjusting his translation device. For 3,000 years we have told stories about humans. We have frightened our children with tales of these violent creatures. But I have spent 10 years studying every piece of evidence. My conclusion is clear. Humans were never real. The council members shifted in their seats. Some looked interested, others looked doubtful. Daesung continued. Think about the stories we tell. Humans could survive anywhere. They could eat almost anything. They healed from terrible wounds. They never gave up even when dying. They were the best fighters in the galaxy. Daesung paused. Does this sound like a real species? Or does it sound like something we made up to scare ourselves? An old council member raised one of her 6 arms. But what about the forbidden zones? Why do those exist if humans were not real? Daesung smiled. He had expected this question. The forbidden zones exist because ancient governments wanted to hide something. Maybe failed experiments, maybe dangerous weapons. They created the human myth to keep everyone away. It worked perfectly for thousands of years. The council murmured among themselves. Daesung felt proud. His dissertation was going well. Across the city, Bora sat in her security office looking at reports that made no sense. She was a senior investigator for Union security. Her job was to solve mysteries. But this mystery was making her head hurt. 15 ships had disappeared near the forbidden zones in the past year. No distress calls. No debris, no survivors. Just gone. At first, Bora thought it was pirates. But pirates left evidence. Pirates wanted people to know they were dangerous. These disappearances were too clean, too quiet. Bora pulled up the restricted files on the forbidden zones. Most of the information was classified. Even with her security clearance, she could only see basic facts. The zones were established 3,247 years ago. They covered 12 sectors of space. Entry was punishable by death. No exceptions, why? Bora muttered to herself. What is out there? The official reason was hazardous spatial anomalies. But Bora had checked the scientific records. Those sectors were normal, stable, safe. So why keep everyone away? Her computer beeped. Another ship had missed its scheduled check-in. The vessel was registered to a cargo hauler named Taemin. His last known position was near the edge of Forbidden Zone 7. Bora stood up quickly. Maybe this time she would get answers. Taemin was having the worst day of his life. His ship's engine had exploded without warning. Emergency systems had barely saved him. Now he was falling toward a planet that should not exist. No, Taemin said, fighting with the controls. The ship would not respond. It just kept falling. According to his maps, this sector was empty space. But his eyes told him something different. Below him was a planet, a big one, and it had structures on it, buildings, cities, technology. The ship crashed hard. Taemin was thrown against his harness. Alarms screamed. Smoke filled the cabin. He grabbed his emergency kit and ran outside before the ship could explode. The planet's air was breathable. That was lucky. Taemin looked around. He had landed in what looked like an ancient city. But the buildings were strange. They were built low and wide, not tall and thin like modern structures. Everything was covered in dust and strange plants. Taemin walked carefully through the ruins. His scanner showed power sources. Some of these buildings still had working technology after thousands of years. That should be impossible. He found a building that looked important. The entrance was sealed, but his cutting tool opened it easily. Inside, the air was cold and still. Emergency lights flickered on as he entered. The walls were covered in writing. Taemin did not recognize the language. He took pictures with his scanner. Maybe someone could translate it later, if he survived. Deep inside the building, Taemin found something that made him stop breathing. Rows and rows of cylinders, hundreds of them, maybe thousands. Each one had a window, and inside each window was a face. They looked almost like his species, but wrong. Their faces were flat. Their eyes were forward-facing like predators. They had no scales or fur, just smooth skin in various colors. Their mouths were small but had visible teeth. Taemin touched one cylinder. It was cold, so cold. The face inside did not move. Were they dead? Or sleeping? His emergency beacon started working. Finally, Taemin activated it, sending out a distress call. Help would come. He just had to wait. Something moved in the darkness. Taemin spun around, his light cutting through the shadows. Nothing there. Just his imagination. He was stressed, scared, alone. Then he heard it. A sound like breathing, slow and steady, coming from everywhere and nowhere. The emergency lights changed color. From white to red, an alarm began to sound. Old and rusty, but still working. The cylinders started to glow. One of them opened with a hiss of ancient air. Taemin ran. He did not know where he was going. He just ran. Behind him he heard footsteps, heavy, fast, getting closer. He reached his ship and dove inside. His communicator was working now. He set it to broadcast to anyone who could hear. "This is cargo hauler Taemin," he gasped into the microphone. "I am in Forbidden Zone 7. I found a city. There are people here." They were sleeping. Now they are waking up. Something hit his ship from outside. The whole vessel shook. "Listen to me," Taemin shouted. "The humans. The stories are true. They are real. And they are waking up. They are—" The transmission cut off. 3 days later, Bora received Taemin's final message. She played it 17 times. Each time she felt colder. She brought the recording to her commander. He listened once and his face went pale. "Delete this," he said. "Forget you heard it." "But sir, that is an order, Bora." She left his office. But she did not delete the recording. Instead, she made copies. She encrypted them. She hid them in secure locations. Then she started making plans. She would go to Forbidden Zone 7 herself. She would find out what happened to Taemin. She would learn the truth about humans. Meanwhile, Dae-sung received his academic honors. His dissertation was accepted. He was now officially recognized as an expert on human mythology. Everyone congratulated him. Everyone praised his work. That same day, the Union Council held an emergency meeting. No one was told what they discussed. But afterward, 3 military fleets were sent to the Forbidden Zones. No one knew why. In the ruins of the ancient city, a figure stood in the darkness. It had been asleep for 3,000 years. Now it was awake. It looked at the broken ship, at the blood on the ground. At the stars above, it remembered what had happened, why humanity had been put to sleep. It remembered the war, and it smiled. Juan opened his eyes for the first time in 3,000 years. Everything hurt. His muscles felt like stone. His throat was dry. The lights above him were too bright. "Easy," a voice said. A woman's voice, speaking in a language he remembered. "You have been asleep for a long time. Do not move too fast." Juan turned his head slowly. A woman in a white coat stood beside his cryopod. She looked tired, scared, but she was smiling. "Soo-jin?" Juan's voice was rough and broken. "Is that you?" "Yes, I am here." "We are all here." "Well, not all of us. Just a few." Soo-jin helped him sit up. "Do you remember what happened?" "Before you went to sleep?" Memories came back slowly. The war, the endless war. Humanity fighting against the entire galaxy. Winning. Always winning. Until they realized what they were becoming. "We agreed to sleep," Juan said. "The Union was going to destroy every other species. We could have let them. We could have won. But the cost, yes." Soo-jin looked away. "We chose to sleep instead. The Union promised to wake us when we were ready. When we had learned peace. How long? 3,247 years. Juan closed his eyes. Everyone he knew was dead. His family. His friends. His entire world gone. "What woke us?" he asked. "An accident. A ship crashed nearby. The pilot found our facility. He activated some systems. 6 of us woke up before we could shut it down." Soo-jin handed him water. The pilot ran away. "We found his ship 3 days ago. There was blood everywhere, but no body. So the Union knows we are awake? Probably. We have been trying to stay hidden, but our signals must be detectable." Juan stood up. His legs shook but held. "Where are the others?" Soo-jin led him through the facility. It was massive. Rows and rows of cryopods stretched as far as he could see. Millions of humans. All sleeping. All waiting. In a central room, 5 other people gathered around a table. They looked up when Juan entered. He recognized some faces, soldiers, scientists, engineers, the best humanity had to offer. One man stood up, Jae-won. He had been a general. A leader, Now he just looked old and lost, Juan, J1 said. Good, you are awake. We need to decide what to do. What are our options? Juan asked. Stay hidden and hope the Union leaves us alone, one woman said. Go back to sleep and hope someone wakes us properly next time. Or run. Can we run? Juan looked at Su-Jin. Maybe. There is one old ship in the hangar. I can probably get it working. But it can only hold about 50 people. We would have to leave everyone else behind. No. Jaewon's voice was firm. We do not abandon our people. We stay together. We fight if we must. Fight with what? Another man asked. We have no weapons. No ships, no support. The Union has the entire galaxy. Before anyone could answer, alarms started screaming. Su-Jin ran to a computer. Her face went pale. Ships, dozens of them. Coming from orbit. They will be here in 10 minutes. Union? Juan asked. I do not think so. These ships are not using Union codes. They are using our codes. Old military codes. Su-Jin looked confused. But that is impossible. All our ships were destroyed in the war. Jaewon and Juan exchanged looks. Both men understood what this meant. Wake everyone you can, Jaewon ordered. Get them armed. We are about to have visitors. The ships landed outside the facility. They were old, damaged, covered in modifications and repairs. They did not look like military vessels anymore. They looked like pirate ships. 50 humans emerged from the ships, but they did not look like the humans inside the facility. They were bigger, stronger. Their bodies were covered in scars and metal implants. Their eyes were hard and cold. The leader was a woman. She walked with confidence, a large gun resting on her shoulder. She looked at the facility and smiled. So, she said, the sleepers are finally awake. Inside, Juan and Jaewon watched through cameras. They saw the woman. They saw her warriors. They understood. They never went to sleep, Juan whispered. Some of us stayed awake. For 3,000 years. Jaewon could not believe it. How? I do not know. But look at them. They are not like us anymore. They have changed. The woman touched the facility door. It opened. She had the access codes. Hello, brothers and sisters, she broadcast over speakers. My name is Young Mi. I am the leader of the Free Human Fleet. We have been waiting a long time to meet you. Jaewon picked up a communicator. Why are you here? To welcome you back. To tell you what the galaxy has become. And to ask you to join us in the war. What war? The war ended 3,000 years ago. Young Mi laughed. No, the war never ended. We just stopped fighting. But not all of us. Some of us kept going. We have been fighting for 3,000 years. Waiting for you to wake up. Waiting for humanity to remember what it is. We are not warriors anymore, Jaewon said. We chose peace. You chose surrender. You let them put you in boxes and hide you away. You let them win. Young Mi's voice became angry. But we did not. We stayed free. We survived. And now we are strong enough to finish what we started. Leave us alone, Juan said. We want no part of your war. You do not get to choose. The Union knows you are awake. They will come. They will try to put you back to sleep. Or worse, they will kill you all. You need us. Before anyone could respond, new alarms sounded. Different ones. Su-Jin checked her computer and went white. Union fleet. 20 warships. Coming fast. Young Mi's voice came back over the speakers. See, they are already here. Now you must decide. Fight with us, or die with your peace. The Union ships arrived in orbit. They did not hail the facility. They did not ask questions. They just opened fire. Explosions rocked the building. Walls crumbled. Power systems failed. Cryopods started to fail. Wake everyone, Jaewon shouted. Now! Young Mi's ships launched and met the Union fleet in the sky. The battle was terrible. Energy weapons lit up the atmosphere. Ships exploded and fell burning to the ground. Inside the facility, thousands of humans woke up screaming. They were confused, terrified. They did not understand what was happening. Juan ran through the corridors helping people, guiding them, keeping them calm. But it was chaos. Su-Jin worked at her computer trying to access the facility's old defense systems. If she could just get the shields working, they might survive. Something unlocked in the computer. Files. Old files. Classified files. Su-Jin started reading and felt sick. J1, she screamed over the communicator. I found something. The agreement. The one we signed before going to sleep. What about it? It was a lie, all of it. The Union never planned to wake us. They were going to keep us asleep forever. And Earth? Sujin's voice broke. They destroyed Earth, 200 years after we went to sleep. They used it to build a mining station. Our home is gone. Silence filled the communicator. Then Jaewon spoke, his voice cold and hard. Tell everyone. They deserve to know the truth. Above them, the battle raged on. Young Mai's ships were outnumbered, but they fought like demons. They knew every trick, every weakness. They had been fighting the Union for 3,000 years. One Union ship broke through and headed straight for the facility. It charged weapons. It was going to destroy the building and everyone inside. Young Mi's flagship intercepted it. The two ships collided in midair. Both exploded in a massive fireball, but Young Mi survived. Her crew pulled her from the wreckage and brought her inside the facility. Hwan found her in a medical bay. She was burned and broken, but alive. Her eyes opened when he approached. Did we win? She asked. You drove them off. For now. Good. She coughed blood. Listen to me. More will come, many more. The Union cannot let humanity live. They are too afraid of us. What do you want from us? Help us finish this. Help us make them pay for what they did. Hwan looked at this woman, this warrior who had never surrendered, who had fought alone for 3,000 years. I will think about it, he said. Young Mi smiled. You will choose war. You cannot help it. It is what we are. Hwan walked away. Around him, thousands of humans were waking up, learning that their home was gone, that they had been betrayed, that the galaxy still feared them. He thought about peace, about the choice they made long ago, and he wondered if Young Mi was right. Bora could not believe what she was seeing. The reports from Forbidden Zone 7 were impossible. A battle. 20 Union warships against unknown forces. 6 ships destroyed, the rest retreating in fear. And at the center of it all, a facility full of humans, real humans, alive. She was in a transport ship heading to the zone now. The Union Council had asked for her specifically. They needed someone who understood the old stories, someone who could talk to these creatures. Dae-sung sat across from her. He looked sick. His entire life's work had been proven wrong in a single day. Humans existed. They had always existed. How do you feel? Bora asked him, confused, angry, scared. Dae-sung stared at his hands. I told everyone they were myths. I was so sure, so confident. Now I look like a fool. You were working with the information you had. No one blames you. I blame me. Dae-sung looked up. Bora, why did they lie to us? Why hide the humans? I do not know. But I think we are about to find out. The transport ship landed outside the damaged facility. Union soldiers formed a perimeter. Weapons ready. Everyone was nervous. Jaewon came out to meet them. He was tall for his species. His eyes were sharp and intelligent. He looked at the soldiers and their weapons and he smiled. You can lower those, he said. We are not going to attack. Not today anyway. Bora stepped forward. I am Senior Investigator Bora. This is Scholar Dae-sung. We are here to talk. Talk, yes, that is what we tried 3,000 years ago. Do you know how that ended? With you agreeing to sleep. With you threatening to exterminate every other species in the galaxy unless we surrendered. Jaewon's smile disappeared. We chose sleep to save you, and you repaid us by destroying our home. Bora felt ashamed. She did not know why. She had not been alive back then, but she felt responsible anyway. Please, she said, let us talk. Maybe we can fix this. Jaewon studied her for a long moment. Then he nodded. Come inside. But only you two. The soldiers stay out here. Inside the facility, Bora saw thousands of humans. They were setting up camps, repairing equipment, taking care of their wounded. They looked tired, lost. One woman with scars and metal implants watched Bora with cold eyes. Young Mi, the warrior from the battle reports. That is the one who attacked our ships, Young Mi said to Jaewon. She works for the Union. She is our enemy. Maybe, Jaewon replied. But she came to talk. We should listen. They sat in a conference room. Old human furniture that had not been used in 3,000 years. Dae-sung kept staring at everything, taking notes. He could not help himself. What do you want to know? Jaewon asked. Everything, Bora said. Start with why you went to sleep. Jaewon told her the story, the war, how humanity had colonized the galaxy before any other species reached space, how they had been alone for centuries. Then the Union formed. Young species banding together, scared of the humans who seemed to own everything. They attacked us first, J1 said. We did not want war, but we were very good at it. Too good, we won every battle. Took every system. The Union was losing. So why did you stop? Dae-sung asked. Because we looked at what we were becoming. Conquerors, killers, we were turning the galaxy into a graveyard. And for what? Pride? Fear? Jae-won shook his head. We did not want that. So we made a deal. We would go to sleep. The Union would leave us alone. Everyone would get a second chance. But they lied to you, Bora said softly. They never planned to wake you up. Yes, and they destroyed Earth, our home, while we slept trusting them. Jae-won's hands became fists. Tell me, Bora, if you were us, what would you do? Bora did not have an answer. Young Mai spoke up. I can tell you what we did. We never slept. Some of us refused the deal. We saw the Union for what they were, cowards, liars, so we stayed awake. We hid in the dark places. We survived. For 3,000 years. Dae-sung looked amazed. How? We adapted. We changed. We became what we needed to be. Young Mai stood and pulled back her sleeve. Her arm was more machine than flesh. We improved ourselves, made ourselves stronger, faster, better at killing. You became weapons, Bora said. We became survivors, and while these fools slept peacefully, we fought. We raided Union worlds. We stole supplies. We built ships from scraps. We never stopped being human. You stopped being human the moment you chose endless war, Jae-won said coldly. We chose peace. You chose hate. I chose survival. Young Mi slammed her metal hand on the table. It cracked the surface. Do you know what we went through? Do you know what we sacrificed? We lived in asteroid fields, in dead ships, in the ruins of our own colonies. We ate whatever we could find. We watched our children die. All to stay free. All to stay awake. And you dare judge us? The room fell silent. Kyung-ho, a Union military strategist, entered the room. He looked worried. We have a problem, he said. The council is voting right now. They want to destroy this facility. With everyone inside. What? Bora stood up. They cannot do that. These are people. They are weapons, Kyung-ho said. That is what the council believes. They remember the old war. They are terrified. How long do we have? Jae-won asked. 3 days. Maybe less. I came to warn you. You need to evacuate. Go where? Young Mi laughed bitterly. You own the entire galaxy. There is nowhere to hide. Dae-sung had been quiet, but now he spoke. I can help. I have access to Union networks. I can publish the truth. Tell everyone what really happened. Show them you are not monsters, and will they listen? Jae-won asked. I do not know, but it is better than nothing. For the next 2 days, Dae-sung worked constantly. He gathered evidence. Old records. Classified files. Soo-jin helped him, providing human perspective. Together, they built a case. The truth was ugly. The Union had started the war. They had attacked human colonies without warning. When humanity fought back and won, the Union played victim. They rewrote history. Made humans into monsters. This will destroy the Union, Bora said, reading the files. People will lose faith in everything. Good, Young Mi said. Let it burn. No, Jae-won looked at her. We do not want chaos. We want justice. There is a difference. Justice, Young Mi spat. They destroyed our world. They lied for 3,000 years. Justice would be killing every one of them. And then what? We become the monsters they said we were? We proved them right? Jae-won stood. No, we are better than that. Young Mi walked out. She did not agree. She would never agree. Meanwhile, a man named Nam-soo sat in his shop on a distant station. He was a weapons dealer. He specialized in rare items. And nothing was rarer than human weapons. For decades, Nam-soo had been finding them. Scavenging old battlefields, digging through ancient ruins, human guns, human armor, human ships. Everything the Union said did not exist. He sold them for fortunes. To collectors, to criminals, to anyone who could pay. Because human weapons were the best. They never broke. Never failed. They were perfect killing tools. Now Nam-soo was hearing news about humans waking up. He smiled. If they were back, they would want their weapons. And he knew where many of them were hidden. This could make him richer than he ever dreamed. He sent a message to the Forbidden Zone. I have something you want. Come and get it, one received the message. He showed it to J1. It could be a trap, Juan said. Probably. But if he really has our weapons, we need them. We are defenseless right now. Juan nodded. I will take a team. Young Mai will want to come. Let her. Maybe it will keep her busy. Keep her from starting another war. Juan, Young Mi, and 5 others took one of the old ships. It barely flew, but it got them to Namsu Station. The dealer met them at the dock. He was a small creature, nervous, but his eyes were greedy. I have them, he said. 3 warehouses full, guns, armor, ammunition, even some intact ships. I have been collecting for 40 years. How much do you want? Young Mi asked. For you, nothing. Just take me with you when you leave. I want to see the Union fall. They followed him to the warehouses. It was true. Thousands of human weapons, perfectly preserved. Young Mi picked up a rifle. It fit her hand perfectly, like it had been waiting for her. How does it feel? Juan asked. Young Mi smiled. Like coming home. That night, Daesung published his findings. He sent them to every news network, every academic institution, every government. The truth could not be hidden anymore. The galaxy exploded. Some species were outraged at the Union's lies. Others were terrified that humans were back. Protests erupted. Governments fell. Chaos spread. And in the Forbidden Zone, Young Mi loaded weapons onto ships. She prepared her warriors. She smiled. Now, she said, now we show them what humans can really do. The galaxy was burning. Young Mai made sure of it. Her fleet struck Union worlds without warning. Small colonies first, places with weak defenses. Her warriors moved fast. They destroyed military installations, communication arrays, shipyards. They did not kill civilians, but they made sure everyone knew humans were back. Insu, a Union diplomat, watched the reports with growing horror. 12 worlds attacked in 3 weeks. The Union military could not catch the human ships. They were too fast, too smart. They knew every Union tactic. We need to negotiate, Insu told the council, before this becomes a real war. Negotiate with terrorists? One council member shouted. They are attacking innocent worlds. No one has died yet, Insu pointed out. They are making a statement, showing us they can hurt us, but they are holding back. That means they want to talk. Or they are preparing for something worse, another member said. Insu knew they were right to be afraid. Humans had nearly exterminated the entire galaxy once before. If they wanted to do it again, no one could stop them. Let me try, Insu said. Let me talk to them. What do we have to lose? The council finally agreed. Insu took a small ship and flew to the Forbidden Zone. He went alone, unarmed, hoping that would show good faith. J1 met him at the facility entrance. The human leader looked older now, more tired. You came, J1 said. I came to stop a war, Insu replied. You are 3,000 years too late. They walked inside. The facility was different now. Organized, military. Humans were training, preparing, everyone looked ready to fight. This is not what I wanted, J1 said quietly. I wanted peace. I wanted us to find a place in the galaxy. But Young Mi, he trailed off. Where is she? Gone. She took most of the awakened soldiers with her. About 20,000 humans, all trained, all armed, all angry. J1 sat down heavily. I could not stop her. She believes the only way to be safe is to make the Union afraid. She is succeeding. The Council wants to destroy this facility. They want to kill everyone here. Then we will die fighting, J1 said simply. We will not go quietly back to sleep. Insu leaned forward. What if I could offer you something else? Stand territory, 3 systems of your own. No Union control. Complete independence in exchange for what? Stop Young Mi. Bring her to justice. Show the galaxy that humans want peace. J1 laughed bitterly. You want us to fight each other? Human against human? That is your solution. It is better than extinction. Maybe extinction would be better, J1 muttered. At least it would be honest. While Insu negotiated, Bora was investigating. She had found something in the old records. Something that made her blood run cold. There was a secret facility, hidden even from most of the Union Council, deep in Forbidden Zone 1, and it contained the rest of humanity. Not thousands, not millions, billions. Every human who had agreed to sleep was there, in cryopods waiting. The facility in Zone 7 had only been a small outpost, a test site. The real prize was in Zone 1, and the Union Council knew about it. They had always known. Bora realized the truth. The council was not afraid of the humans who were awake. They were afraid of what would happen if all of humanity woke up. She had to tell someone. But who could she trust? She decided on Dae-sung. He was at the facility documenting everything. Recording interviews. Writing the true history of humanity. Dae-sung, she said over a secure channel. I found something. Something terrible. She told him about the secret facility, about the billions of sleeping humans, about the council's lies. Dae-sung was quiet for a long time. Then he said, we have to tell them. The humans. They deserve to know their people are still out there. If we do, it will start a war. A real war. Young Mai will try to free them. The council will try to destroy them first. Then what do we do? Bora thought hard. We need leverage. We need something that will make both sides stop fighting. Hee-won was a pilot, one of the first humans to wake up. She was old now, over 60 even before she went to sleep. She remembered Earth, the real Earth, not the myth or the story, the actual planet. She had been a teacher there. She taught children about kindness, about understanding, about being better than your worst impulses. Now she flew a combat ship, preparing for war. It made her sick. One day she received a message on an old frequency, a frequency that only original Earth humans would know. The message was from someone named Dong Hyun. He was one of Young Mi's top warriors. Can we talk? The message said. Alone? Hye-won took her ship and met Dong Hyun in a neutral location, an old space station, abandoned, safe. Dong Hyun was young, maybe 30, but he had the eyes of someone much older, tired, sad. Why did you call me? Hye-won asked. Because I remember your name. My grandmother told me about you. She was one of your students. Before the war, Hee-won felt tears in her eyes. What was her name? Mi-sun. She died 20 years ago, fighting the Union. I am sorry. She told me stories about Earth, about peace, about how humans used to be. Dong Hyun looked away. I never believed her. I thought she was weak. I thought only strength mattered. What changed? I am tired. We have been fighting for 3,000 years. My grandmother fought. My mother fought. I have fought. And for what? We are no closer to winning. We are just surviving, barely. Why are you telling me this? Because Young Mi wants to wake up all the sleepers. Billions of humans. She wants to use them as soldiers. Build the biggest army the galaxy has ever seen. Dong Hyun looked at Hye-won. I do not want that. Those people chose sleep. They chose peace. They should not be forced to fight our war. What do you want me to do? Help me stop her. From the inside, it was a dangerous plan. If Young Mi found out, she would kill Dong Hyun. But Hee-won agreed. It was the right thing to do. Soo-jin was working in her lab when she made the discovery. She had been studying the humans who had never slept, Young Mi's people. Trying to understand how they survived so long, what she found was terrifying. They were changing, evolving. Each generation was stronger, faster, more resistant to damage. Their bodies adapted to the harsh conditions of space, to constant fighting, to endless war. We are creating a new species, Soo-jin told Jae-won. Young Mi's people are not like us anymore. In another 1,000 years, they will be something completely different. Are they still human? Jae-won asked. I do not know. They have human DNA, human thoughts. But their bodies, Soo-jin showed him scans. Their bones are denser. Their muscles are stronger. Their brains process information faster. They are becoming perfect warriors. Natural selection, Jae-won said quietly. Only the best fighters survived. Only the strongest had children. 3,000 years of that. Yes, and it means something else. If we wake up all the sleepers, we will have two types of humans. The peaceful ones and the warrior ones. They will not get along. Civil war, Jae-won realized. Human against human, possibly. Unless we can find a way to bridge the gap. Bora finally brought her evidence to the Union Council. She played recordings, showed documents, proved that billions of humans still slept in Zone 1. This is classified information, one council member said angrily. You had no right to access it. You have no right to hide it, Bora shot back. Those are people, living beings, and you were going to let them sleep forever? Or kill them? Which is it? The council chamber erupted in arguments. Some members wanted to destroy the facility immediately. Others wanted to wake the humans and negotiate. A few wanted to leave them sleeping. In-soo stood up. We have one chance. One opportunity to do this right. We offer the awakened humans their own systems. We promise never to disturb the sleepers unless they want to wake up. And we apologize publicly for everything we did. Apologize? One member laughed. For saving the galaxy from human conquest? For lying. For destroying Earth. For betraying people who trusted us. Insu looked around the chamber. If we do not do this, we will have a war. And this time we will not win. The vote was close. But Insu's plan passed. The next day he returned to the Forbidden Zone. But this time he came with an offer. A real offer. 3 systems. Full independence. Access to the sleeper facility to wake whoever wanted to wake up. And a formal apology. Jaewon read the offer carefully. What is the catch? You have to stop young me. Prove that humanity wants peace, and if we cannot, Insu looked sad. Then the council will authorize the destruction of both facilities. All humans dead. How long do we have? 1 month. That night, Jaewon called a meeting. All the awakened humans who remained at the facility, about 30,000 people. He told them about the offer. About the choice they had to make. We can fight, he said. We can join Young Mi. We can try to burn down the Union. Maybe we will win. Maybe we will lose. But millions will die. Maybe billions. Or, someone asked, or we choose peace again. We prove that humans can be more than warriors. We build something new, something better. And Young Mi? Juan asked. What about her? She will not stop fighting. Jaewon looked at his old friend. Then we stop her. One way or another, the vote was not unanimous. Many wanted to fight. Many wanted revenge. But the majority chose peace. Now they just had to survive long enough to achieve it. Young Mi stood on the bridge of her flagship, looking at the star maps. Zone 1, the sleeper facility. Billions of her people waiting to be freed. Waiting to join the fight. We will arrive in 6 hours, her navigator said. The Union fleet is already there. 25 ships. Only 25. Young Mai smiled. They are making this too easy. Dong-hyun stood behind her, silent. He had been quiet for days now. Young Mai noticed, but she thought he was just preparing for battle. She did not know he had betrayed her. Far behind them, Hwan's fleet followed. 12 ships full of humans who had chosen peace. They were going to stop Young Mi, even if it meant fighting their own people. This is wrong, one of Hwan's officers said. We should be fighting the Union, not each other. The Union offered us peace, Hwan replied. Young Mi wants war. If we let her wake the sleepers, she will turn them into soldiers. She will take away their choice, just like the Union did. So we are saving them by fighting our own people? Yes, Hwan said quietly. That is exactly what we are doing. Bora was at the sleeper facility when the Union fleet arrived. She had convinced the council to let her be there, to witness whatever happened, to record the truth. The facility was enormous, bigger than any city. It stretched deep underground. Billions of cryopods, billions of sleeping humans, all waiting for a future that might never come. If Young Mi gets in, the Union commander told Bora, we have orders to destroy the facility. We cannot let her wake them all. You would kill billions of innocent people? To save trillions? Yes, the commander looked grim. I do not like it. But I understand it. Bora thought about that. About the math of war, about how many deaths were acceptable to prevent more deaths. She felt sick. Dae-sung was with her. He had been documenting everything. Recording interviews with sleeping humans as they woke up. Learning their stories. Understanding who they really were. They are just people, Dae-sung said. Teachers, farmers, artists, engineers, normal people who wanted normal lives. That is what makes this so terrible, Bora replied. They did nothing wrong. But they will die anyway. Unless we can stop it. How? We are just 2 people. Dae-sung smiled sadly. Sometimes that is enough. Young Mi's fleet arrived first. Her ships spread out, surrounding the facility. The Union fleet formed a defensive line. For a moment, no one moved. No one fired. Everyone waited. Then Young Mi opened a channel. Her voice broadcast to everyone, Union, human, everyone. People of the galaxy, she said. For 3,000 years you have lived in peace. Built civilizations. Raised families. You have been safe. Do you know why? She paused. Because we fought for you, the humans you forgot. The humans you erased from history. We bled so you could sleep peacefully. We died so you could live without fear. And now you dare to point weapons at us? The Union commander responded. You are attacking innocent worlds. You are starting a war. I am finishing one. A war that never ended. A war you started. Young Mi's voice became hard. Now I am going to wake my people. I am going to give them the truth. And then they will decide what to do with you. We cannot allow that. Then try to stop me. Young Mi's ships moved forward. The Union fleet opened fire. Energy weapons lit up space. Missiles launched. Ships exploded, but Young Mi's forces were better, faster, smarter. They had been fighting for 3,000 years. The Union forces had been at peace. It showed. 3 Union ships were destroyed in the first 5 minutes. The rest began to retreat. Young Mi landed her flagship at the facility entrance. She walked out with 100 warriors. They were going to force their way in. Then Juan's fleet arrived. His ships positioned themselves between Young Mi and the facility. Weapons armed. Shields up. Young Mi stared at the screens in disbelief. What are you doing? Stopping you. Juan's voice came over the channel. You are not going to wake them. Not like this. They are our people. They are sleeping people. They chose to sleep. They chose peace. You do not get to take that away from them. I am giving them freedom. You are giving them war, just like the Union did to us. You have become what we fought against. Young Mi felt rage building inside her. You are traitors. All of you. You are supposed to be on my side. We are on humanity's side, and humanity chose peace. Inside the facility, alarms started going off. Someone had accessed the main computer. Someone was starting the wake-up sequence. Su-Jin ran to a terminal. Who is doing this? Who is waking them? Then she saw Dong-hyun. He was inside the facility. He had gone ahead while everyone was fighting. And he was waking up the sleepers. Not all of them. Just a few hundred. Carefully selected. What is he doing? Jae-won asked. He is giving them a choice, Su-Jin realized. He is waking up decision-makers, leaders, teachers, people who can think, not just fight. Outside, Young Mi saw what was happening on her scanners. No, he is ruining everything. She tried to force her way into the facility. Juan's ships blocked her. The 2 human fleets faced each other. Weapons ready, both sides waiting for someone to fire first. Then Hyewan's voice came over all channels. Stop, she said, please. Just stop and listen. Hyewan flew her ship between the 2 fleets. Alone, unarmed, vulnerable. I am Hyewan. I was a teacher on Earth. I am 83 years old. I have been asleep for 3,000 years. And I am tired. I am so tired of fighting. Everyone listened. Young Mi, I understand your pain. I understand your anger. You have fought for so long, suffered so much. You wanted us to wake up and join you, to validate everything you sacrificed. Yes, Young Mi said. Yes, that is all I wanted. But we cannot give you that. Because we do not want war. We want to build homes, have families, live normal lives. And you cannot accept that, can you? You need us to be warriors. Because if we are not warriors, then what were you fighting for? Silence. You were fighting for us. Hyewan continued. For our right to exist. Our right to choose. And we choose peace. Can you accept that? Can you let us choose? Young Mi felt something break inside her. She thought of all the years. All the death. All the pain. Had it been for nothing? I do not know how to stop, she whispered. I will teach you, Hyewan said gently. We all will. But you have to put down your weapons first. Inside the facility, the first sleepers were waking up. Dong-hyun stood with them, explaining what had happened, giving them the choice. Some wanted to fight, to join Young Mi, to get revenge. But most wanted what Jae-won wanted, peace, a chance to rebuild. One man, a former engineer named Woo-jin, spoke up. Where is Young Mi? I want to talk to her. They brought him outside, face to face with the warrior leader. I knew your great-grandmother, Woo-jin said. Her name was Sung-hee. She was my assistant. We designed ships together. She was going to get married, have children, live a good life. Young Mi stared at him. She died fighting the Union. I know. And I am sorry. But she fought so that someday humans could have peace. She told me that. She said she was fighting for the ones who would come after, for their chance at happiness. We never got that chance, Young Mi said bitterly. No, you did not. And that is terrible. That is unfair. You deserved better. Woo-jin stepped closer. But do not take away our chance because you never got yours. That would make all her fighting meaningless. Young Mi felt tears on her face. She had not cried in decades. What do I do now? This is all I know. Fighting is all I am. Then learn something new, Wu Jin said. We will teach you, if you let us. Bora watched from the Union flagship. She saw young Mai lower her weapons. She saw the human fleet stand down. She saw something impossible happening. Peace. The Union commander looked shocked. They are not fighting each other. No, Bora said. They are choosing something better. Insu arrived the next day. He came with the council's offer. 3 systems. Independence formal apology. Everything they had promised. Jae-won read it carefully. Then he looked at Young-mi. What do you think? Young-mi was quiet for a long time. Finally, she said, I think I am tired of fighting. I think I want to see what peace looks like. Does that mean you accept? Insu asked. On one condition. We decide who wakes up, not you, not the Union. We ask each sleeper if they want to wake up. If they want to stay asleep, they stay asleep. Forever, if necessary. Insu nodded. Agreed, the agreement was signed. 3 systems became human territory. The Union formally apologized for destroying Earth, for lying, for the war. It was not enough. It would never be enough. But it was a start. Over the next year, humans woke up slowly. Some chose to wake. Many chose to keep sleeping. They were not ready yet. Maybe someday, Young-mi and her warriors learned to farm, to build, to create instead of destroy. It was hard. Many failed, many left. But some succeeded. They learned that there was more to life than fighting. Hwan became the leader of the new human government. He was fair, thoughtful. He made mistakes, but he learned from them. Sujin opened a school. She taught young humans about their history. The truth, all of it. The good and the bad. Bora resigned from Union security. She joined Sujin at the school, teaching alien students about humans. Teaching human students about aliens. Building bridges, Daesung wrote a book, The True History of Humanity. It became required reading in schools across the galaxy. Some people hated it, some people loved it. But everyone read it. Insu became the Union's ambassador to humanity. He visited often. He made friends. He believed that maybe, someday,